Hello everybody, it's Joe being videos on the Gemmy Master Animatronics, and what I have for review today is the Spirit Halloween Tekky Toys 2014 Broken Spine Girl. I just brought her home to test her because, and she still does have this problem. It's not one that can really be fixed, but when she goes down all the way, she starts twitching and clicking because there's a part of her gear, the same gear that was broken in Gruesome Granny, same gear broken in Rising Reagan. It's chipped off, but it doesn't really.
Where did everybody go?
Just a second. It doesn't really hinder the performance, really. It doesn't obstruct her. Like, she can still get back up on her own, and that's really all that matters to me. She just doesn't go completely all the way back to hit a relay switch, which is fine. But I'm sure it'll get worse, but I mean, nothing's really there to make it get worse unless someone actually physically grabs onto it to make it worse in our display. That'll be the only way that'll happen. This was Spirit Halloween's probably faultiest animatronic of 2014. Aside from Jack-o'-lantern, she was just a wreck. And you might be, a lot of people are saying, no, she's still working at my store, blah, 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 blah. Well, we had 4. We went through the first store display broke. I don't remember what happened, but it did break. I tried flipping the gear around and stuff to the side that wasn't broken, which did work temporarily. I had to have her arms posed straight down so that her body wouldn't bend all the way back, because if it did, it wouldn't get back up. Well, it just gave out. So then I set up another one, which was just a regular customer one, and that one was not hitting a relay switch. So in less than 2 hours, she broke a gear tooth off of her gear, and she was already broken. So I took parts from the other one, because they broke in different parts. This is why I buy duplicates and stuff, because they always break in different parts. Same with, I'll get to this one in a second. But the second one, I swapped parts with the first one, and it worked fine. It worked great. I got the relay switch adjusted so it would hit it. It worked just fine. Then one day, some stupid dumb guy decides to pull on its hair when it's going back up, and I barely saw it. But he grabbed onto it, and I heard a loud click, and it was just done after that. Then we had 2 customers return, and both of them, the ones the customers returned, not only were the gears broken, but the clips that clip on to the, because when you set the, I mean, you can always watch Tekky's setup video of this, so there's no need for me to go over the whole setup, but some of these were snapped off on some of the ones the customers returned it, but I almost wonder if they forgot to connect those in the first place, which is why they probably broke. I bet one of them at least did. One of them didn't make sound either. The volume knob was broke. So we had 4 bad spine girls, and actually one of these is one of the ones that the customers returned. My boss was nice enough. They were all going to get thrown away. They weren't selling them. My boss was nice enough to let me keep one. I contacted Tekky Toys to ask them for if they had a mechanism. They sent it. They sent 2 accidentally. I got one because when I messaged Tekky Toys, I needed a new Peekaboo Penny base, because the one I got the store display Penny in, she couldn't stand by herself because hers was already worn out. Of course, the second one did too. They sent me dead humor poles. They sent me a pop-up zombie base, because that's when I thought my one was fried, but it wasn't. And so yeah, they sent me a Broken Spine Girl module with that. But before that box arrived, I got another Broken Spine Girl module, which had my address on it, but a name called Dave Scott or something like that. I don't know. But it wasn't my name, and I was like, I must have gotten someone else's. So I got 2, which is why this has lasted for so long, because the first mechanism that I put on it stopped working in 2017, the first year me and Lucas did our yard display. And I used to have her arms posed up to her face so she would drop down faster, but that's how they break, because it really struggles for them to go up. Their arms have to be like this. They're posable, but you cannot have them in another position other than this. And this hand is just down like that. So I think it actually might have melted a bit and went down. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that, but yeah. And these feet actually are from our first Broken Spine Girl. So actually, I'm glad I took the feet because I thought her feet were in the box, but they weren't. So I took this space when I was fixing that fried gruesome granny, and it's a good thing because otherwise I wouldn't have had legs to use it then either. So I ended up getting a fully working thing. I mean, it does still quit from time to time, and I have to fix again. I am able. I just last Halloween I put this mechanism on it. This was the second one I got, and now it has that one chipped gear. But I think I still have one more set of gears where I can swap them if they break. Because again, they did break in different spots, so they are switchable until every part is broke. And that's the bad thing about broken spine girl. It's not just one faulty gear. All of her gears are bad. Because one of them, the first one that we set up, the regular original store display one, the gear inside the gearbox was broken. It wasn't one of these. It's typically normally. There's also this, which I just connected. I never had this connected before. It like stabilizes her when she gets back up and stuff. But it's typically those gears that break. Either the top one or the bottom. Mostly the bottom. Well, my first mechanism, it was the square shaft gear that just split. The gear teeth didn't actually break on any of those gears, but I think that's just from sitting in the storage unit getting cold and stuff. But yeah, but typically those gears break. But the first store display one, that's not what broke on the original at the first time. Her mouth moves and her head turns side to side. This one's head doesn't turn. This is another thing I noticed. If they don't hit their relay switch, the head doesn't turn as much. So because of that, it doesn't turn its head much. It doesn't even really twitch. I mean, Jaden's, these typically don't move their heads very well or much in general, but Jaden's actually does. He probably has the best working one I've seen so far, but he always fixes it and stuff to make it better. Her mouth moves upwards, but it's not like the YG ones where it snaps up. Typically, it actually breaks a gear, kind of like the gruesome granny, because our second store display one, the mouth ended up breaking on. So yeah, again, this is one of the ones that got returned. We did get another one in 2015, which was another 2014 model. I just think the 2014 ones were really faulty. I don't know if they upgraded them in 2015, but of course, in 2014, they had the attic theme box, and they retailed for $200. The eyes light up white. The prototype in Spirit's sneak peek video, they light up red. And her mouth movement makes her head, or actually whole body, shake, so it actually looks cool. You can't really see it on camera, but it does. And there's a cheap plastic material in there for the mouth too, to give it shape. And then there's her feet. She's pull-based. She can be collapsible as well. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, and we'll show it to you. She's only sound activated, or you can use a step pad on it. A try me button used to work on her. It doesn't anymore. Well, it stopped working, so I don't know. Alright, here we go.
Where did everybody go? All gone. And you're
Yeah, you know, when I saw Spirit released our sneak peek of this thing, I was like, there's no way this is going to last hundreds and hundreds and thousands of activations. I was like, this thing's going to be faulty. I knew it because I wasn't sure how they were going to pull it off. At first, I kind of thought it was going to be a Rising from the Grave mech, but that would never hold up. But still, yeah, I knew it was going to be faulty because just bending back like that, it's just... That's a lot of pressure.
Where did everybody go? All gone.
She does have a bit of detail. So we'll do it again. Let's see. I feel like you gotta push this arm down
Where
more.
did everybody go? Oh, all gone. And you're
It doesn't go down that much further, really. Also, right before I was swapping out the modules for them, the other one actually started shorting out. Her eyes were just staying lit when she wasn't even turned on, and her voice got really quiet. So the other one had just started shorting out too. So it's a good thing I got a second one.
Where did everybody go?
Volume adapter. I would not use batteries on this. Too high powered. And she's really hard to find now too because of how faulty she is. She just doesn't last. And the one we sold in 2015 never got returned, so I'm assuming it worked for them. Because they bought 4. They bought her, Lunging Lily, Peekaboo Penny. We only had 1 Peekaboo Penny, 1 Broken Spine Girl in 2015, and then they bought the spider too.
Where did everybody go?
She's kind of loose too in her head. I think her belt's bad. Yeah, I don't know where I can go where you'll be able to see her shake. Kinda.
Where did everybody go? Oh, all gone. And you're not.
Alright. So that's just about it. So I don't want to overuse her or anything, because I mean she is one that will not continue to last if you use her and use her and use her. So anyways, yeah, so I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching, and bye.